Ooh, the whistly wind doth whistle. Middle England here, we don't get the same. They get it in the, it's dissipated coming over the land and mountains and Wales and whatever, Ireland. Looked at the sort of weather radar picture of it's got a name, this current storm, and absolute classic, one of those swirl things, the rain coming in. Why, oh why can't mankind see it? God is the boss. This earth is just a tiny little speck of dust in the universe in terms of its mass. Our galaxy, the whole galaxy, in terms of the mass of the universe, again, is just a speck. And then all the matter in the whole universe, in terms of the whole universe, including dark matter and dark energy, again, it's only 5%. And that's God. He was, he is, and he will be. I'm reading what's billed as an introduction to the Bible. It's a great big, thick tome. I've got as far as sort of David, Solomon, so through Moses and Exodus and so on, Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and on we go. For whatever reason, God chose his chosen people, the Israelites, the Jews, the Jewish nation, the Jewish people or whatever. And the story is just so clear that they're a contentious lot. Just going off with foreign gods now. Solomon apparently had, known for wisdom, but a sort of political fellow and hugely wealthy, and built the second temple, had the second temple built. David didn't, which is a big symbol. In Jerusalem, which David made his capital. They speak of David as being the golden age of Judaism. "700 upper market wives and 300 concubines, apparently, Solomon, and notably known for losing the plot, God saying, in the Ten Commandments, I'm a jealous God, thou shalt have no other gods but me. But old Solomon started taking on board the gods of his wives and the area in which he was, so that was Canaanites, and so that was Baal and other gods, and all the other lots, Amorites and Tishbites, Amalekites, and all so on and so forth. I'm no biblical scholar. I do not wish to be a biblical scholar. It's the history of God's chosen people, to some extent, Kings, Chronicles, and so on, Judges, those books of the Bible, and how we got it, and so on, and going right the way through the Gospels, the Acts, the letters of St. Paul, and then finally Revelation, written by John on the island of Patmos, utterly inspired by the Holy Spirit as far as I'm concerned. And has it been mistranslated and so on and so forth? I am a Christian. I love God through Christ. I'm a Goy. I'm a British subject, citizen. Don't like that word, subject. Ooh, slipped out. I'm a white African by birth, born in Cape Town, Scottish missionary ancestor, and so on. What I am now is a Christian, and there is God's purpose for his world. I love St. Francis of Assisi, and these words are attributed to him, and he may not have actually said them, but there we are. But Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. The Lord's Prayer, which we have, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Such simple, direct statements. It's not our will. Our duty as human beings is to seek and find God's will for us, and then to try to put our will into his will, and then it will work. Christ speaks of moving mountains. If you have faith, and very often that can actually be the mountains in people's hearts. The world is just awash with troubles. So it's nothing new. There were more ancient civilizations around before God's chosen people. So Abraham is about 2,000 years before Christ, we think. You know, and a lot of it it's not written down and documented. It's verbal history quite often. Our duty, as I see it, is, as we are here in God's world, to seek to put our will as human beings, and we are willful human beings. It's a human nature, but to utterly, in the Psalm, this is Psalm 147, I'm paraphrasing, but the strength does not lie in a man's legs, but those who fear God. And I hear that word fear. God speaks of being a fearful God. But in French, there's tutoyer and vouvoyer. Amongst your mates, je suis, tu es, il est. Nous sommes, vous êtes. So if you to someone, an individual, your mates, whereas vous is the plural, so you speak to many people, but out of respect, you vouvoie your superiors, your parents, your betters, as it were. So in French they have this concept of tutoyer or vous voyez. One tutoies Dieu. You speak to God in French as if he's your friend, your companion, your guide, your leader, your teacher. Amen. That was Pachelbel's canon. It's such beautiful, peaceful music. There's light in my Christian place. It's Christian because I'm here.